There are things about you that no one knows. Not because you're dishonest, not because you're afraid, but because early on you learned that exposure can wound as deeply as silence. Tonight, Purson asks a question that doesn't demand confession. It simply demands discernment. What mystery about yourself do you guard most closely? Join me now in and through the Static Seance. Purson is a revealer of hidden things, a knower of secrets buried not just in mind, but in flesh, in instinct, and in fate itself. But he is not a thief of secrets. He is a keeper of thresholds. He teaches that mystery is not deception. It is self-preservation refined into art. Let's begin with the past, because secrecy is often born long before we have the language for it. Purson asks, what mystery did you hide to survive? Think back to the first time where you realized that being fully seen came with consequences. Maybe it was a feeling that you learned not to express, a desire that you learned to disguise, a truth that made others uncomfortable, afraid, or cruel. You learned quickly that some sides of you require protection. You folded them inward. Not out of shame, but out of intelligence. And this is important. Hiding was not failure. It was just adaptation. Purson teaches that secrecy, in its earliest form, is a survival skill, a way to keep the essential self intact when the world is not yet safe enough to receive it. And yet what is hidden doesn't disappear. It waits. So now we come to the present. And this is where a person can become unsettling, because he doesn't just ask what you hide from others. He asks, what truth do you conceal from yourself? This is the most guarded chamber, a place where rationalizations live, where stories are told to keep deeper knowing at bay, a calling you minimize, a desire you intellectualize away, capacity for power, intimacy, or creativity that you pretend is smaller than it is. Sometimes we hide from ourselves, not because the truth is ugly, but because it is too consequential. Because admitting it would require change, responsibility, authorship. Purson knows this avoidance really well. He does not force revelation. He watches to see whether you're ready to stop pretending that you don't know. Now let's speak to the nature of the guarded mystery, because Purson makes something very clear. What you protect is not weakness. It is potential. Secret is not rot. It is a seed, a version of yourself that requires the right conditions to emerge without being destroyed. This is where many people misunderstand secrecy. They assume all hidden things are shameful. Purson teaches you the opposite. Some things are hidden because they're precious, because premature exposure would distort them, because not every witness is worthy. And this brings us to calling. The guarded mystery is not meant to stay hidden forever. It is waiting for intentional revelation. Purson teaches that when secrecy is chosen, not imposed, it becomes sovereignty. You are not withholding, you're curating. You decide who knows you. You decide when truth is spoken. You decide the conditions in which the hidden self will step forward. This is not manipulation. This is authorship. And so now let's look towards the future. Person asks, what secret will demand to be spoken? Because some truths grow restless. They press outward. They disrupt sleep. They surface as tension, longing, or quiet dissatisfaction. This is not punishment. It's maturation. The secret has reached a point where silence is no longer protection, where withholding it becomes confinement. Person teaches that revelation, when timed correctly, is not exposure, it's initiation. A crossing from potential into form. But, and this matters deeply, you will choose how it is spoken. To whom, in what language, on what terms. Destiny does not rip the mask away. It waits for you to remove it with intention. Here's the central teaching of Purson. Mystery is not deception. It is discernment. The self is not owed to everyone. Your inner truth is not public property. And secrecy, when wielded consciously, is not fear. It's power. What you guard is the seed of self-authorship. And one day, when the conditions are right, when the witness is worthy, when you are ready to stand behind your own truth, you will speak. Not because you are forced, because you choose to be known. And when that happens, the secret will not diminish you. It will name you. So ask yourself tonight, what have I protected for a reason? What truth is waiting to be invited forward? And when it finally speaks, will you recognize the voice as your own?